Of course, no one knows what a house will look like in the future, or even how our children or grandchildren will get access to their first home. And that's why Gen2 have put innovation and sustainability at the heart of everything that they do. Their intention is to continue to build houses in which families can grow and change while still maintaining their high standards of space. But they've taken their commitment to quality and environmental sustainability to a new level here, with a fantastic new development that'll see people's use of energy reduced dramatically. They're one of the first people to be building houses to the Passive House standard, which has meant learning new skills, but which will produce enormous benefits.
It came about through a development I was involved in Peterborough via Peapod Consortium, which was the HCA's Zero Carbon Challenge scheme. 350 unit development delivering zero carbon housing, and once I got into that, became more aware of technical aspects of housing and the issues that surrounded delivering environmentally friendly housing in this country. And through that, talking to various experts, they mentioned the European approach, which was the Passive House approach, which in many respects was different to how we do it in this country. And when I did the research into it, the key things that struck me was, A, it had been going since 1996, so it had been going for a very long time, and it was very much more tried and tested. And B, it was a very much more simplistic approach to environmental housing, because it just focuses on the house itself.
So a great idea and delivering great environmental benefits.
Absolutely. Key thing, particularly with the Passive House scheme, is very, very low fuel bills. The houses are so thermally efficient that they need very, very little energy to run them. So our customers are getting real benefits, as well as the houses themselves are delivering very low CO2 emissions compared to traditional housing.
Well, Passive House is the world's leading energy performance standard. So really what that means is that these buildings consume a very small amount of energy, roughly about 10% of that of the average home.
So it sounds like it's not rocket science, it's clever use of design and it's clever use of technology.
Yes, it's an innovative use of standard materials and products. And really that comes down to being able to, the key issue there is being able to design things in the right way. So addressing technical issues such as thermal bridging and air tightness enables us to deliver really low energy buildings. And that's one of the key skills that we've been developing with Gen2.
And it sounds like this is something that could be rolled out right across the area and right across the country.
Oh yes, it has. It's definitely got that tremendous potential. And there's a growing number of passive houses growing at an exponential rate across Europe, and this is the UK's opportunity to engage with that.
With conventional houses, people can be throwing away money through leaky windows and out their letterbox, etc. Is it just coming down to pounds, shillings and pence as well? Because here they're going to save money. Give me an idea of the sort of savings people can make.
Well, there's often the analogy whereby turn your thermostat down by 1 degree Celsius and you save 10% on your energy bill, but that's roughly about £67 a year. Well, for a passive house, you can actually heat the whole house, including your domestic hot water, for £67 a year. So that's an example of the economies of scale.
So it sounds like a no-brainer not to go with it.
Yes. It's why compromise comfort when you can have living comfort and enjoy all the benefits of a low-carbon home.
I think Gen2 Green galvanised the whole group because they looked at all the, whilst they're cross-bracing across the group, they look at every individual company. So when I'm in the world of development, I'm looking at housing. Gen2 Green were very, very supportive of what we were looking at, and in fact they helped us evolve and create our own sustainable and green targets within my development world. So I think a key catalyst to all of the developments that we've been working on.
And what have you learnt in construction, your guys that you train, through embracing these green initiatives?
I think a key thing is it actually requires a lot higher level of quality control. That the build quality has to be so much more regimented than current standards, because you have to achieve the high thermal targets. So that's a very key issue. And we've also had to create our own quality assurance control system specifically for this type of development. And more importantly, we're also applying the Passive House standards to our overall house type range. So we're taking the Passive House concept forward, modelling it in relation to all our house types, and also cross-checking it against the UK standards.
So it sounds like using this green print has meant a win-win situation for construction.
Absolutely, because not only do we are getting unique design skills, but construction themselves are getting their own unique construction skills. So nobody's built a passive house scheme in this country. Our guys will be able to say, look, we've got the QA standards, the quality assurance standards in place, we've done this, we have the track record, and so that's a very marketable skill that we could take outside of the Gen 2 group.